Today on Community Uplift, all across the country, our young black men are facing some very daunting odds. Prince George's County is no exception. So how do we teach our boys to grow up to be good men, fathers, and leaders of their family and community? Stay tuned because that's our topic for today. Hello, I'm Denise Roberts, and welcome to Community Uplift. More than any other group in this country, young black men face a greater rate of imprisonment, a greater chance of being killed, and a greater chance of being unemployed. For many young black men, life holds no opportunity and the future holds no promise. The fact is, they are living day to day with very little expectation that life will get better and that the limited conditions they know today are the conditions they may very well live with for the rest of their lives. So what do we do about this? Well, today we are joined by some members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated who work with young black men and have done so for many years. Tony Lee, the Basileus of the Gamma Pi Qs, and Milton Fowler, chair for the Gamma Pi Cheltenham Youth Initiative. And first up is Tony Lee, current president of the Prince George's County chapter of Omega Psi Phi Gamma Pi. Welcome back, Tony.
Good to be back with you, Denise. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank
Very
you for
good.
being here. So, before we get into all of that, I know this is the time of year where all the brothers of Omega Psi Phi come together in one place for
the Grand Conclave. We are looking forward to it. This year's 81st Grand Conclave will be taking place in New Orleans, Louisiana, July the 20th through the 24th.
Okay.
It's our national meeting where we get together as brothers to go over our fraternity's agenda, lay out the vision for the next 2 years, and we're looking forward to it. We also will be electing our new Grand Basileus, our national president, and other national officers during our Grand Conclaves. And of course, we'll have a wonderful time of fun, fellowship, and good food while we're in Louisiana.
Oh, wow. Louisiana, one of my favorite places to go. So, you said this happens every 2 years?
Every 2 years, we have our Grand Conclave.
Okay.
We had our previous one in 2016 in Las Vegas, and in 2020, we'll be in Tampa, Florida.
Anything that you can talk about that you're expecting or were expecting that was different from any other years?
Well, this year is another special year for us as a chapter because we have one of our chapter members who will be running for national office for the second highest position within our fraternity, which is the first Vice Grand Basileus. He's currently serving as the Grand Keeper of Records and Seal. And he has an extensive background. Brother Kenny Rogers is his name. He has an extensive background in leadership and service to our great fraternity. He's a former 3-term Basileus of Gamma Pi chapter. He serves as a district representative. And so we're looking forward to getting him elected as the first Vice Grand Basileus. So that's going to be pretty exciting for us as a chapter.
Okay, that sounds really exciting for you and for the chapter and for him. Does that mean that if he gets elected, he is an officer on the national level and still participates in the Gamma Pi chapter?
Absolutely. He serves currently on the international level now as the Grand Keeper of Records and Seal, which is basically our national secretary for the fraternity, and international, rather, secretary of the fraternity. And if he's elected, when he's elected, because we're certainly going to get him elected, when he's elected, he will be second in charge of our fraternity. So we have our president, and then he will be the first vice president.
Okay, so does that mean that everybody's going to be there?
Oh, we're taking quite a number we have a great delegation of brothers coming from Gamma Pi Chapter. Awesome. We'll be probably taking about 50 or so brothers down to New Orleans to support him and to help him get elected, and also to participate in our Grand Conclave.
Okay. So Gamma Pi has been really busy this summer, right?
Extremely busy.
Okay, please tell me about some of your programs you got.
Well, this has been an extremely busy summer for us. We just finished hosting our Senior Citizens Banquet at Gethsemane United Methodist Church. But June has been extremely busy for us because we do a great deal. We had our Senior Citizens Birthday Bash, which we hold at Windsor's Crossing. In addition to that, we celebrated our patrons, if you will, through our BOOPTA, which is our Be Out or Be Talked About chapter cookout, and a reclamation where we get together and we honor those who have supported us throughout the course of the year, as well as it gives us an opportunity to reach out to brothers who have been disconnected from us and bring them back into fellowship, into the fold. So we have been extremely busy this summer. In addition to that, we've held our community shred, which took place in June as well, in partnership with the local chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. And then,
excuse me?
I knew you would say something about that. And then, of course, we had our Project Enrich closing program, which is one of our youth programs that we hold at Bowie State University. And it was another successful closing program with them as well. We have a number of students who will be going off to college with full scholarships, academic scholarships. And so we're excited about what has been taking place throughout the course of the summer. And then we had our district meeting, which is when we all 5 states come together: Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, and our district conference was held in Baltimore. And so we have been extremely busy this summer, but it has been a joy.
Now, all the programs that you talked about, they're every year, on an annual basis?
Yes, we do it consistently every year, all of those programs. Our Cheltenham visit was also done this summer as well. It was done the 30th of June.
Okay.
We go
and
into
the Senior Citizen Birthday Bash. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's an opportunity for us to get all of our seniors, and we do it on a, if I recall correctly, every 3-month basis.
Okay.
And what we do is we honor those seniors who are celebrating birthdays during that season. So we may go from May to July, and then we have a celebration for those whose birthdays fall within that time frame. We serve them cake, ice cream, we play games with them, we play bingo, we allow them to win a little cash from the brothers. So it's pretty exciting for us.
Okay, and I'm sure it's pretty exciting for them as well.
Oh, they love it, they enjoy it.
Are they from all over the county?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
Okay, all right. And the Patrons Program?
Our Patrons Program gives us an opportunity to give back to those who support our activities and support our events throughout the course of the year. So we sponsor a huge cookout that they don't have to pay anything for. We provide food and beverages, and we allow them to come out with their families and celebrate with us. And we want to show our thanks and appreciation for partnering with us throughout the course of the year, whether it be through our scholarship programming or whether it be through our other special events that we have throughout the course of the year that they support us in. Mardi Gras, there are a number of events we have throughout the course of the year that they come and they patronize us, they buy tickets, they support us, and we're grateful for the opportunity to give something back to them. Without cost, of course.
Now, I hadn't heard much about your community shred, because I know other organizations have community shreds as well. Is this something that's on an annual basis as well?
Yes, we do a community shred every year. We try to do it around closer to the summertime. We've done one in the fall as well. Also, which is one of our standout events, is our blood drive, which was a tremendous success this year. We bring in the Red Cross and partner with them, and we have citizens and constituents who come in and donate blood, and it was a tremendous success. Dr. Ford does a tremendous job with that for us.
Had a good showing of people?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Phenomenal turnout.
Okay, that's awesome. Awesome. Okay. So you were just reelected For a third term.
For a third term,
Yeah, I
yes.
guess you like your job.
Well, I do, but more importantly, I think that it's important for the brothers who I'm grateful that they think enough of me and my leadership and my vision, that they see the hard work that I do. I try to lead by example, and I'm fortunate enough to have good brothers who recognize the efforts and have entrusted me with the responsibility to lead them at least another year.
Well, congratulations on that. I'm
Thank you so
sure
much.
that's, you know, very rewarding for you. I mean, for them to bring you back, you must be doing a good job.
Well, I would like to hope so. Either that or I messed up so bad they want to give me another opportunity to get it right.
Okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. So this year, Community Uplift is being featured in your annual magazine, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. We have been blessed with the honor to be acknowledged and recognized by our Oracle, which is our national publication, our magazine that comes out that recognizes all of the work that is done throughout our fraternity. Mm-hmm. And this year we were fortunate enough to have Community Uplift recognized and honored within our edition. You were honored as well. There's a beautiful picture of you in the Oracle, and it speaks to, we will certainly make sure you are able to see it. Unfortunately, we can't give you a copy because
I'm
it's
not a member.
Reserved for our members. But you are in there. It does speak to the work that we have done and the tremendous work that you have done in hosting the show, as well as giving us an opportunity uniquely to reach out to our community and to promote our social action programming, which is very, very fortunate for us to be able to do that in this season and in this time of year with all of the things that are happening. So it gives us a wonderful medium and venue to do that.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. So today's show, we really want to talk about manhood and the importance of mentoring, and how important it is to Omega Psi Phi. I know you have, or the chapter has, a lot of programs that address the needs of young black males. Can you just talk to me a little bit about what Omega Psi Phi, what Gamma Pi is doing? Well,
our first cardinal principle, of course, is manhood, and we take that very seriously. And with today's events and the things that are facing our young African-American youth today, we think it's vitally important for us to make sure that we have not only our hand on the pulse of what's going on in the community, but also to serve as mentors. And those of us who teach and those of us who train our young men, we are committed to making sure that we take our boys and take them from boys to men. And so we have a number of programs that are designed to do that. Our first is our Project Enrich program that I spoke to you about earlier on the campus of Bowie State University. And it is designed and geared towards our young people in school, beginning in the 9th grade, taking them all the way through the 12th grade. And it affords us the opportunity to provide them with public speaking training, tutoring, all kinds of academic enriching kinds of things, field trips. We do a lot of things, exposure to various universities and colleges. We teach them how to fill out financial aid forms, how to apply for colleges and universities. So there's a number of things that we're doing with Project Enrich that prepares and equips them for college. And then moving from our Project Enrich program, we move to our Q Kids program, which is, it deals with our younger elementary school age young people who we want to expose them to and prepare them for not only high school, but getting them through middle school. So we have a number of activities with them. We expose them to all kinds of cultural events. We take them to museums, and we just give them a different exposure outside of their normal circle or sphere of influence, and it has been very helpful for us. We teach them all kinds of unique skills, fishing, camping. We do a lot of things with them, and they're able to be around men on a consistent basis with a positive influence. And then finally, our newest program, which is our Q Teens program. It's designed to deal with those at-risk youth who, for most, in most instances, they don't have the kind of resources in the community that are designed to help uplift and teach them. And so many of them are in the Seat Pleasant area of Maryland, and we spend an enormous amount of time building self-esteem, encouraging them. They're having school issues, so we want to provide them with all kinds of tutorial programs, job training, job readiness. Some of these young men, for the most part, don't have a real vision for what they want to do, and so we expose them to various occupations and just trying to broaden their horizon when it comes to preparing them for life. Some of them don't want to go to school, so we expose them to other career choices as well. Okay. Barbering, auto mechanic, whatever we can do to ensure that they have a positive experience.
Well, you guys are very busy, and these programs, they seem really like they would be very helpful to young people in our community. Very fortunate to have a group such as yours that's out here in the community really trying to do something with young people, because it's very important. I mean, it's hard with different situations that young men are being raised in, whether it's single parents or Fowler's homes or whatever. These programs are very, very important. So I want to commend you,
well, thank you.
and commend the organization.
We have a tremendous team of young men who are committed to that, and we have a great social action chairman, Brother Kevin Greenwood, and the entire Gamma Pi Brotherhood. They're committed to training these young men.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Listen, I want to thank you again for being here, as always.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. And thank you for doing an outstanding job of hosting this segment.
Thank you. So we're going to cut this short, and we'll be back with more. Don't go away, because we are talking about programs to help young black men and the challenges they face.
I'm here. Can you see me? Because I feel like I'm invisible. Like this whole place is invisible. If it weren't for the nightly news, no one would even think of this place. But down here, things look different. Down here, our spirits are bright and our dreams are vivid. And if given a chance, that's what the world would see.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in with us on Community Uplift. Joining me now is Milton Fowler from the Department of Defense, also a member of Gamma Pi. Milton also chairs the Cheltenham Youth Initiative for Prince George's County Omegas. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Gamma Pi just completed a recent visit to the Cheltenham facility. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
This is my association with the chapter, about the 6th time that we've done this. Yeah, we go in to the facility and we spend about 4 hours with the young men talking about various subjects. This year, we just wanted to talk more about us and what we do, how we claim to be, or actually we are, positive people in the community. So more talking about us this year as opposed to talking to them about some of the decisions that they've made in the past.
Okay. How did this initiative get started?
I truly don't know. I understand that it was something that was done years before I came into the chapter, and once I heard about the program, I knew it was something that I wanted to be associated with.
Okay. How long have you been in the chapter?
About 6 years now.
6 years. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. So can you just walk me through what the visit was like?
It's like a walk into the county lockup facility. It really is. There's a big, heavy door that slams behind you. It actually does frighten you quite a bit. The loud bang, and of course there's another set of doors that don't open until that door closes. And so it's just like walking into a county lockup facility. You get wanded and searched as you go in, and but then once you're on the inside, it's truly remarkable. You actually get to look into the eyes of the residents there, and you recognize that they're just young men looking for some sort of guidance, some help, something, a word to really help them through the situation that they may find themselves in.
Okay, what's the age range of some?
We believe as young as 12, 13, as old as 18.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. What can you tell me about maybe some of the experiences that you may have learned from some of the inmates there?
We were quite surprised to find out that there are quite a number of fathers actually in that age group, 12 to 18. And in fact, a father as young as 13. And it's really interesting that when we're having conversations with them, the conversations are usually free form. They just go anywhere. We may have some topics we want to touch on, but we allow the conversations to go wherever they want. And but when I've noticed that when the conversation turns to their fathers, there's a coldness that comes over the room. And so a lesson for me is to try to stay away from that type of conversation. We talk to them about manhood, about hope and possibilities, things of those sorts. And but I like to try to stay away from actually talking about their fathers.
Okay, so but the chapter does have a fatherhood initiative.
This is part of that fatherhood initiative.
Okay.
There is some connection that I think needs to be made better with working with the Fatherhood Initiative, but this is a good idea that we go out there on Father's Day, usually. And so to have a visit from black men on Father's Day, I think it does those hearts really well.
Yeah, yeah. You know, with all the issues that young black men face today, in the past, going forward, when we are talking about this subject, it's like we always start off with the negative, and it seems so daunting and bleak, you know, but there are young men out here who are graduating from college that are really doing positive things out in the community. Why do you think we always start with the negative?
I couldn't answer that. But thinking about it at this instant, I wouldn't think it's starting with the negative. I would say that maybe we're trying to catch some of these young men before they're truly in a negative situation. Again, when I look into the eyes of some of these young guys and see that they're yearning for someone to give them direction, someone to say a word that sparks their interest, it's really heartwarming. So it never really feels negative to me when we're there. It feels like so much uplift.
So during the visit, what kind of response are you getting from some of the young men? Well,
some of the responses are typical. They're young men who are not interested. They're sleeping. They're few, but there are quite a number that are just paying so much attention. We've even had tears. Some young men break into tears and express their desire to want to get things right in their lives. So it is so rewarding, at least for me.
So are they receptive to your presence when you go there?
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now they're treated like they're in a lockup facility, but yes, they're really receptive.
Do you get a sense that they have lost hope, or do they have hope for their future?
We certainly try to bring them hope for their future. I wouldn't say that I get a sense that they've lost hope. Not certainly the vast majority have not. There are some incredible questions that come from those young men. You know, how do you know when to do the right thing, or what is the right thing? And some of the responses that we give them are quite funny, and we don't really know exactly when we're doing the right thing, you know, but certainly we make an effort to do what is expected.
Okay. How many members, you know, make it down when you go?
We usually go in with in excess of 35 to 40 brothers.
Okay.
So we go in pretty strong.
Are you able to touch all of them?
Very frequently, we see every one of the residents. We bring them in two groups of about 20, so we see about 40 to 60 young men every time we visit.
Okay. How often is the visit?
We go specifically once a year,
Okay.
but we're making plans to increase that. In order to truly make a difference, we need to be there more than once a year.
Right.
Many of the young men are there for only 3 months, so we don't think it's wise for us to miss an opportunity to touch someone's life more than once.
Okay.
So we want to do a visit more than once, at least once a quarter. We want to build toward that. So that's what we're trying to do.
Have you ever experienced any tense moments with some of the young men that are there?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me about it? Give me an example.
I wouldn't want to. No. But yes, there have been some tense moments. I'm just standing outside of the facility, and you see the barbed wire. There's some nervousness in us when we go in, and as I said earlier, there are some young men who are not paying attention when we're talking. They're sleeping, and so there have been a few tense moments, but nothing to be fearful of.
So what's the overall goal when you're going in there?
Personally, I just want to touch one young man. I want to provide some hope. I want him to see that there are possibilities. I want young men to see that there are African American men, positive role models who look obviously like these young men, have come from some of the same circumstances and risen above that, and have gone on to lead productive lives.
What do you see in most of the young men when you're there in terms of, how did they get there? What's the overall circumstance in their life?
What I believe is that many of the young men have a poor definition of the word manhood. And if I had to try to explain manhood, I don't know that I would give a great definition of it, but obviously it's not truly an age. It's not how much money you may have in your pocket. It's not how many associates you have, but it is doing the right thing. Manhood is. It is being responsible. It is being uplifting in your community, in your circle, in your sphere of influence. So hopefully that's the image and definition of manhood that we show these young men.
Why is Omega Psi Phi the right organization to help these young men?
Because we are the Marines. We're the foot soldiers. We are the first on the ground. That's what we do. Whenever there's an issue, we're the organization that people call on. We have a relationship with the staff at Cheltenham, and actually.
And how did that relationship begin?
It happened before I became a member of the chapter, so I couldn't answer that. But I have heard the staff say that we are the only people that come out to the facility.
Really?
There are a few church groups here and there, but for the most part, we are the only ones that come out and visit and spend time with these young men. So I'm very proud of that.
Okay.
We are the Marines.
That's something to be proud of, definitely. And when you're there, what's your overall feeling about what you're doing?
Again, on Father's Day, I could be with my children, and certainly that is the same case with all of my brothers. But taking the time to be a father outside of your normal sphere it just feels great. It feels wonderful, and again, to look in the eyes and see that you're making positive strides. It feels wonderful.
Milton Fowler, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on the show today.
Thank you.
All right, and we're very glad to learn about this program. It's very, very important, and it's obviously very critical to the young men over there. I'm sure you're making a difference. And that's our show for today. Thank you for tuning in to Community Uplift. I do want to thank all of the guests that were here today, Mr. Tony Lee and Milton Fowler. For more information about the show or the Gamma Pi mentoring programs and how you too can get involved, please visit www.gammapi.org. Gamma Pi is also on Twitter at Gamma Pi Qs and on Facebook at Gamma Pi Chapter. And the YouTube channel is Gamma Pi Chapter. Thank you again for watching. I'm Denise Roberts, your host, and we'll see you next time on Community Uplift.